Hey YouTube, welcome back to a brand new Animal Crossing video. June is almost upon us and today we are back with the latest updates and changes we can expect to see around the New Horizons island. June is a surprisingly busy month with a bunch of new content and lots of activities to look forward to. Not to mention it's the beginning of the rainy season and the shark season too, which is always fun. So if you're still enjoying Animal Crossing or you enjoy Animal Crossing videos, be sure to leave a like, it helps out so much, and subscribe so you always hear the latest Animal Crossing news as soon as it happens. And let's get into it. Number 1. Weather. Now starting with the weather for a change, we have some pretty significant changes around the New Horizons island in June. For those in the Northern Hemisphere, June marks the start of the rainy season with the highest chances of rainfall than any other month of the year. Furthermore, from June 16th, there's actually a 38% chance of heavy rain on any given day, which again is the highest chance of rainfall all year in the Northern Hemisphere. The rainy season runs from June 16th through to July 5th, when the rain becomes slightly less frequent. Similarly, June 10th marks the snow day for those in the Southern Hemisphere, where everyone is guaranteed 100% snowfall, which is pretty nice as you head into the winter season. The winter also introduces the aurora, which can be encountered from June 11th. You can typically see these randomly between 6 PM and 4 AM for around an hour. Anyway, the rainy season also brings with it the shark season, but more on that towards the end of the video. Number 2. Wedding season. Now with the cool weather phenomena out of the way, June is of course the wedding season, which is a month-long event in Animal Crossing New Horizons honouring Reese and Cyrus's wedding anniversary. Starting June 1st and running for the entire month through to June 30th, the wedding season takes place on Halves Island and tasks the players with decorating their wedding venue every single day. Now this is almost certainly the largest event in the entire game and gives us the chance to obtain items from the wedding furniture series along the way. There's approximately 30 items available just by taking part in the event itself. However, during the event, players will also earn the limited time heart crystals, which are used to unlock additional wedding themed items. You don't have to take part in the event every day if you don't want, but the more you do, the more you can earn and the more items you are rewarded with. Now the wedding season is not only an annual holiday, but also a seasonal event with additional wedding themed items available from the Nook Stop, which can be bought every day, as well as the Able Sisters, who stock wedding themed clothing items for the duration of the celebration. So yeah, a whole bunch of items to obtain, but also a great opportunity to get any items you missed if you played through previous years. Number 3. Seasonal items. Moving on, June is of course packed with 7 seasonal items this year, which all introduce new items. The first big change is the Dragon Boat Festival and the Dano Festival, which introduce the Festival Zongzi and the Sharichi Teok respectively, and this year can be celebrated from June 1st through to June 10th, which is like 2 weeks earlier than last year, I believe. Next up, we have International Children's Day, which introduces the Homemade Cape and Homemade Crown and can be celebrated from June 1st through to June 15th. Father's Day introduces the Thank You Dad Mug and Thank You Dad Apron and can be celebrated from June 1st through to June 30th. The Summer Solstice, which takes place in the Northern Hemisphere, introduces the Sunflower Crown, Sunflower Rug, Sunflower Sunglasses, and Maypole, and can be celebrated from June 15th through to June 21st. Similarly, the Winter Solstice, which takes place in the Southern Hemisphere, introduces the Midwinter Sweater, the Aurora Wall, the Bathtub with Yuzu, and the Tanguan. Can also be celebrated from June 15th through to June 21st. And of course, as we've already mentioned, the wedding season introduces the nuptial bell, the nuptial door plate, the nuptial ring pillow, and the flower petal basket, which are all available for the duration of the wedding season in June. Number 4. Seasonal materials. Now, as you'd expect from a new month on the New Horizons island, we see a shift in the seasonal crafting materials and DIY recipes that are available. In the Northern Hemisphere, we say goodbye to the young spring bamboo and hello to the summer shells. These summer shells can be found for the entire summer season from June 1st through to August. The corresponding summer shell DIY recipes can also be discovered during this time in balloons and bottles in most cases, and include items such as the summer shell rug, the shell wand, and the starry sands flooring, amongst others. The Southern Hemisphere move into a new season a little later than the Northern Hemisphere, so both acorns and pine cones continue to be available until June 10th, at which point the winter begins and snow starts to fall, introducing small and large snowflakes and their corresponding DIY recipes, which can all be discovered for the rest of the winter season. Number 5. Special items. Moving on, with June being the start of the summer season, or the winter season for those in the Southern Hemisphere, Nook's Cranny switches up the items available and adds some special items that are only available during these seasons. In the Northern Hemisphere, Nook's Cranny will display some summer-themed decorations and stock the surfboard and the retro fan items, which are available for the whole of summer. In the Southern Hemisphere, Nook's Cranny will display some winter-themed decorations and stock the round space heater and the celebratory candles, which again are available for the whole of winter. These literally only appear during these seasons, so it's definitely worth picking some up. Number 6. Clouds. Now, something I've always enjoyed covering in these monthly update videos are of course the more subtle changes we get to experience around the New Horizons island, and that includes clouds, which, believe it or not, do change with the seasons. Thin clouds that have been visible in the New Horizons sky throughout the spring will disappear as we head into summer, and no special clouds will be encountered again until the autumn. This is mostly due to having rain clouds or clear skies so often throughout the summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Both cirrus and cirrocumulus clouds disappear at the end of May for those in the Southern Hemisphere. However, billow clouds will take their place and can be spotted from June 1st and throughout the winter. Clouds are of course very subtle details, but can help you make your photo stand out if you want to. Number 7. Bug-Off. Next up, June kickstarts the Bug-Off season, which is a super cool summer activity for those playing in the Northern Hemisphere. This year, the Bug-Off begins June 22nd and sees Flick stop by the plaza to host the event. For those new to New Horizons, Flick rewards players for catching bugs within a certain time frame and offers up items as prizes. Some of the prizes include the butterfly backpack, the artisanal bug cage, and the Bug Aloha shirt, amongst many others. It's also worth remembering that you can earn either the bronze, silver, or gold trophies for taking part, so even if this isn't your first Bug-Off, it's a great opportunity to obtain a different trophy style. The Bug-Off is a summer-only event, so it doesn't take place in the Southern Hemisphere this month, although players can travel to Friends Islands if they fancy taking part. Number 8. Bushes. Moving on, another subtle detail I've been covering in these videos since the launch of New Horizons is of course the changes to the bushes around the New Horizons island. In the Northern Hemisphere, pink and white azalea bushes stop flowering, with blue and pink hydrangeas blooming in their place from June 1st through to July. Furthermore, plumeria bushes, which may be new for you as they were added in the 2.0 update, will also bloom in June from June 1st through to September. In the Southern Hemisphere, holly continues to flower until June 15th, however red and pink camellia bushes bloom from June 16th and all the way through to September. Again, very subtle changes, but super useful to know if you use them when landscaping or decorating your island. Number 9. Shark Season. Now, June also sees the start of the shark season in Animal Crossing New Horizons. This is when the larger finned fish begin spawning off the shore of the New Horizons island. These include the saw shark, the hammerhead shark, the great white shark, the whale shark, and even the suckerfish. All of these sharks have very large shadows and exposed fins. I guess they spawn this time of year because of the rainy season, but can be encountered throughout the rest of the summer season. It's worth noting that if you're a newer player, you have to actually catch 50 other fish before sharks will even spawn though. So if you're not encountering any sharks, just catch more fish and they will begin spawning fairly frequently depending on the time of day. Number 10, Critters. Of course, we can't make a monthly changes video without highlighting some new bugs, fish, and deep sea creatures that can be encountered over the next few weeks. Now, we've already covered the shark season, however 25 new critters can be encountered in June around the New Horizons island, including the Goliath beetle, the giant snakehead, and the abalone, to name just a few. Similarly, the Southern Hemisphere sees 9 new critters that can be encountered, including the dung beetle, the stringfish, and the lobster, amongst others. So again, a great opportunity to double check your Critterpedias and make sure you've donated everything you need to Blathers and the museum. So there we have it. June is definitely one of the busiest months on the New Horizons island, so I hope this helps you over the next few weeks. If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to post shark in the comments just to let me know you did, and be sure to include what you're looking forward to the most next month. I'd love to know. Thank you to the Patreon and channel members for supporting this content. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.